Welcome back to Call for Help. Whether you use instant messenger or just chat rooms or even just surf the web, online safety is an issue that cannot be ignored. If your kids are going online or if you're a teenager going online, there's things you need to know to keep yourself safe. Here with some pointers on how to make your online experience safe is Terry Schroeder. That's what she does. She's president of iSafe.org. Tell me about a little bit about iSafe.org.
We are a federally funded program, Department of Justice.
Oh, that's neat.
Washington, D.C.
And your mission is to talk to parents in general?
No, actually our mission is to talk to kids.
To kids, yeah.
Yeah.
Parents should also be dealing with their kids. I mean, this is a parental issue as well. But the problem often is that the kids are very sophisticated, and the parents have no clue what you could ask a parent, what's the difference in I am and chat, and they'll go, I don't know. And the kids go, oh, Mom. Right. So it's good to deal with the kids. What are some of the dangers that you see online?
Well, some of the dangers online is the fact that you are actually making friends and classifying them as friends with somebody you don't even know.
You've never met them?
Never.
Yeah. And my daughter's only 11, but I make a rule that you can only chat with people you know in RL, in real life, because then she knows who they are. I said, you got to be very careful about that. And she's good about it. I think most kids will be, right?
Well,
no?
Yeah.
You find it's hard to get them to do that?
The problem is that the kids, in terms of what they classify as friends, the people on the other side, what they do is they use that same classification to engage in a relationship with them.
So if there's somebody who preys on kids, they're the ones, they can be problematic because they'll pose as a kid.
Exactly.
They'll do all the things that a kid expects, and they'll say, well, this is a nice guy. I like this guy. Yeah. So what are some of the things that you should do as a kid if you're online? What are the things you should be aware of?
Well, some of the things you should be aware of is in terms of not giving out personal information. There's a difference between identifying and personal. And also, too, in terms of when you're talking to somebody, and we're going to talk about this today in terms of, in instant messaging or chat, what you call yourself online. And how much identifiable
Well, for instance, a girl probably shouldn't use a feminine name often, right?
Well, because some of the students, they use Barbara 14.
Yeah, that's a giveaway. That's your real name.
Right.
Yeah, and you know now you're from Oklahoma and you're 14 years old.
That's right.
Yeah, so be careful what you choose. This is an example online instant message session. Seems pretty benign. I mean, they're just talking about fishing. No big deal, right?
Except for Bobby and Fred.
Why? What's that? Why's the issue there?
Well,
that's their real names.
That's their real name. And here, too, if you look at the conversation, they're talking about the fact that they went and they caught big mouth bass.
That's a giveaway to your location.
Right.
You have to be that careful?
Absolutely.
So really nothing that would pinpoint where you are. I mean, certainly you wouldn't want to give your address, the school you go to, but even like I live somewhere where I can get big mouth bass is an issue.
It is. Or even if you're playing a sports team in the position that you play and your school colors.
Because that would be enough to track you down. Yeah.
This
is IM, of course, Instant Messenger, and here's your buddy list online in your IM. What are the issues here in the IM arena about buddy lists? Who you have on your buddy list?
Yeah, the issues on the buddy list is that, what you really need to be careful in terms of who you're adding to the buddy list. Again, the same thing in a chat, except the buddy list is, as the students know, it's just one-on-one. It's just you and them.
I always make it on the rule, again, on buddy lists that you block everybody that's not on your buddy list so that people can't instant message you just randomly, because that's also a way to keep people from kind of introducing themselves into your circle of friends. And you can do that on any of these instant messengers. You can click a button that says, I don't want to hear from anybody that's not on my list. And then keep your list restricted to people you know.
True.
Keep you safe? You don't buy it? You've seen more than I have, obviously. Let's talk about chat a little bit. What are the issues here?
The issues with chat, and it's something that the students really need to pay attention to, is that particularly in this conversation, here you have Sharon, Chelsea, and I guess it's Carmel, Webmaster. They could be the same person.
You don't know that, do you?
No, you don't.
You can't tell.
That's right.
I think that, we all want to believe the best about people. We all assume people are telling the truth. They're doing what we expect them to do. So it's good to have a little kind of critical eye about what you see online.
Exactly.
It may not be as you expect.
Right.
What are some rules for kids in terms of, here's creating a new public profile, what they should do in their personal profile?
Well, in the personal profile, one of the things is obviously we say don't put your name.
Not your real name. Use a handle.
That's exactly right. Don't put anything in terms of your location. Don't put anything down there identifiable. One of the students actually online, he was a Wall Street trader. So he took that type of an identity online. And that's the kind of information that he put in there.
Of course, your age, your gender, these kinds of things. You don't have to fill these out.
Nope.
And you probably shouldn't be filling them out.
That's right.
In fact, I make this a rule for everybody in my family. Don't give out personal information anywhere on the web unless you really know what you're doing and you know who you're talking to, because this is being used against you. And these are the rules in general that the FBI encourages people. Let's go through these real quickly. Don't give out identifying information. We've already talked about that. Tell your parents if something makes you uncomfortable.
Right. That, you know, it's interesting because, as you said earlier about the parents,
Right.
And I know that some of the students listening today probably think, yeah, but you don't know my parents. If I
Right.
tell them what's going on, they're going to take away my computer.
Right, right.
Because parents have a tendency to go, any trouble with it, it's
Right,
out of here.
right.
But still, open up the lines of communication. Treat cyberspace just as if somebody else in real life made you feel uncomfortable.
And if you don't feel you can go to your parents, you can always go to a teacher or a counselor, too. There are
Exactly.
other adults in your life that you can go to who may be a little bit more understanding. Yeah.
Exactly.
And, of course, very important, never arrange a face-to-face meeting with anybody without telling your parent or guardian. I think that's very important.
It's important. Unfortunately, we're seeing
That's the
more
one where
than
you
we'd
get in
like
trouble. Yeah.
to see
yeah.
these days.
And really, remember, use your critical thinking. People are not necessarily who they pretend to be online. In fact, very rarely are. My daughter, I asked her when she's online, I asked her, so what persona, who are you when you're online? Do you use your real name? She said, no, I'm a 38-year-old guy from New Jersey. I said, okay, that's good. you're a little safer there. Thank you so much for joining us. These are very important tips. If you want to know more, of course, iSafe is the place to go, iSafe Online. I see that Jeff Garcia, the quarterback for the 49ers, is one of the people who presents on there, which is great. So a great way for kids to get kind of excited about all this. If you want to know more, you can also visit our website, techtv.com/call4help. We'll have the links on there as well. Coming up, if you think you've got the best free image viewer on the net, maybe you do, but maybe not. We've got another one to throw into the mix. My personal